Pornography is a sweet poison. Sweet because those who watch it tend to like it. A poison because it kills. It is harmful. It causes harm to your brain, to your heart, even to your world. Unfortunately, most people don't understand the harm that pornography causes to themselves, to their families, and even to the community they live in. Today, we are going to share with you 4 dangers of pornography and 4 steps to help you or someone you love receive freedom. Before we dive into it, we would like you to subscribe to our podcast. And by doing so, you support our passion to see families healthy. This is Mike and Christelle podcast, where family meets faith and fun. Did you know that every time you share one of our episodes on social media, one potential family gets healthier? Also, thank you for all your questions and comments. We assure you that we are going to answer them, and it will be anonymous. We're not going to mention your name. If you have access to the internet, you are already exposed to pornography. But the fact that you are already exposed doesn't mean you should be curious about it. But if you've been curious about pornography, that means you have probably watched it. And if you have watched it, it's possible that you have watched it again. You may not think that you are addicted, but even if you watch it once in a while, it's still harmful to you. It's still harmful to your family. It's still harmful to your community. So these are four issues that we have with pornography. There are many issues. There are many dangers of pornography, but we're just going to mention 4 in this episode. The first one is pornography affects your brain. In fact, people who watch pornography, they don't know, some of them don't know this, but the reality is it changes your brain. It changes the way your brain functions. Believe it or not, studies show that those who consume pornography have their brains that are less connected, less active, and even smaller in some areas. It's even proven that pornography has the same effects on your brain like drugs, the same like cocaine. The same effect on your brain like cocaine. It produces the same chemicals. It produces the same, they call it dopamine. It produces the same chemicals in your brain. The second one is that pornography affects your heart. It's proven that pornography damages love and drives a wedge in relationship. It is proven that most men who watch pornography, they are less satisfied by their wives, by their spouses. It is also proven that people who watch pornography, they are less committed in their relationships. They don't develop skills to communicate well, and they compare their wives to the images they see on screen. It really damages relationships, and also it stops growth because it becomes like an escape for people not to deal with the real life issues. You know, maintaining a relationship requires work. It requires work. You need to be humble. You need to apologize. You need to do all these things to maintain a relationship. But most people, they avoid to deal with issues in their marriages or in their relationships, and they go to watch pornography as an escape. So they don't develop those skills that normal people should develop in relationships by escaping to pornography. So we know that pornography stops growth. And the third one is that pornography affects our world. And let me say it, your world is affected every time you watch pornography. There is proof that there is correlation between pornography and sex trafficking or pornography with violence. There is enough research that prove that sex trafficking feeds the pornography, the adult industry. They call it adults, but we know also that most people who watch pornography are not necessarily adult. We have minors who are being destroyed by pornography. So we know that pornography is affecting our world in a negative way. So the first one, it affects your mind, your brain. The second one, it affects your brain just like cocaine affects people's brains. It affects your heart because it affects your relationships. It steals from you the ability to grow and to handle relationships. The third one, pornography affects your world. You should be aware of this. When you watch it, you are not just watching yourself, but you are also supporting the industry that is destroying our world, the girls who are being sold around the world. The fourth one, pornography affects your relationship with God. Let me address this a bit, but I think it's important to understand that pornography is a sin at the end of the day. The Bible says in Matthew chapter 5, verse 28, that if you look at a woman, Jesus said, if you look at a woman lustfully, you have already committed adultery with her in your heart. Tell me if you can watch pornography without looking at that woman lustfully on the screen. The whole purpose of pornography is to make you watch it and lust. So there's no way you can watch it without sinning against God. You know, it also brings a third person in your bedroom. Let's be honest with each other. You become polygamous. You can't be monogamous and keep another sex partner in your mind. You cannot. You become emotionally attached to another person when you watch pornography. Pornography does not require commitment, but it provides virtual pleasure. Can you imagine? While in real life, you have to be committed to your wife in order to get pleasure. But in virtual world, you don't need that kind of commitment. You get the reward of a relationship without paying the price of maintaining a relationship. So because of that, we have 4 steps we want to suggest to you on how to get out of this. 4 steps to freedom from pornography. These are the 4 steps to freedom from pornography. Let me be honest with you. My wife and I have been using this for the last 10 years or more, and we have seen 100% result. If you follow all the 4 exactly, you will get the result. So stick with me. Follow the 4 steps. If you skip one, it's up to you. But I'm telling you, listen to these 4 steps. You will get freedom from pornography. The first one, stop wishing, become willing. Stop wishing, become willing. Most people are aware of the dangers or some of the dangers of pornography. So they wish they could stop watching it. They wish, they want to stop. They would like to stop. So they try to stop. You know, it's good. It's one step. It's okay. But the problem is wishing or wanting is just a wish. It's just a wish. Wanting is just a desire. You know, a desire doesn't really change much until it's transformed into a will. And what is a will? Willingness requires commitment. Willingness requires action. Willingness requires determination to pay the price and to do whatever it takes to deal with the issue. So stop wishing, start or become willing. Willing, make a decision that I'm ready to pay the price. I'm ready to do whatever it takes to get out of this. So don't just make it a wish. Don't just sit there and think, oh, I wish. I would love to stop watching pornography. It's so hard, you know, it's so hard. I've tried twice. I've failed, you know, I've tried. Stop saying that. Stop just making it a wish. Become willing. Are you ready to pay the price? Because we're about to give you 3 more steps that if you are ready, if your attitude is a will and not a wish, you will get there. The second one is choose accountability. Now, this will work if only you have done the first one. Choose accountability. It's hard to fight addictions alone. People who have overcome addictions before will tell you it's really hard to fight the battle of pornography or any addiction alone. Find someone you trust. someone you really trust and respect, and make yourself accountable to that person. Ask that person to hold you accountable every time you watch pornography. So this is how it will work. You are going to report yourself to this person every time you try to watch, or every time you watch, or every time you have watched. So let me say this again. You're going to report yourself because you are a human being. You may fail. But every time you see yourself about to watch, remember to contact this person. Send a message, send an email, or give them a phone call. It depends on your relationship. If you can, even if it's in the middle of the night, contact the person, report yourself, tell the person, I'm just about to watch. It's hard for me. I can't handle this. Let the person know what you're about to do. Or if you find yourself, because you are human, I know it may get hard, you've watched it, report yourself again. And make sure this person is not just a person you can easily you can easily brush it off with. You can, it's okay, Make sure it's not a person you can easily just say it's okay with. Make sure it's a person who will really, really hold you accountable for your actions. So what I mean here is find someone, and every time you watch, every time you are about to watch or you are watching, report yourself to the person and let the person have a conversation, a chat with you on what you are doing or you have done. It is very important. Make yourself accountable. Find an accountability partner. It can be your spiritual leader. It can be your boss at work. It's whatever, whoever. It can be someone in your family that you trust. You know that person is not going to use it once against yourself. And if you do this faithfully, you will get the result faster. I've done it myself. I've seen a lot of people get help. I've helped a lot of people, many of them, and they get their results really fast. The third step, recognize the time, the places and circumstances that you are more at risk. What I mean by this is sexual activities don't just happen. They don't just happen. In fact, they happen at specific times, places, or environment. There is an environment for it that you make to make it happen. You create the environment for sexual activities to happen. It's very rare for these things to happen just by accident. You make room for it. You organize it to happen. It doesn't just happen. You close the door. You do things to make yourself comfortable or to give yourself the room to feel safe to do it. So recognize those places, recognize those times, recognize what gets you there, and begin to make arrangements to avoid it. I'll give you an example. Maybe it's a TV show. Maybe there is one TV show that every time you watch, it brings these ideas and it causes you to fall. Maybe you should stop watching that TV show. Maybe you should unsubscribe to that something that you have subscribed yourself because they send you stuff or you have access to it. Maybe it's time, it's time to maybe unsubscribe even to some platforms. If it's Netflix, if it's whatever you use that gives you access to it, maybe it is time to do it. There are even devices today that gives us restrictions, your iPhone or your iPad or your Samsung phone, or phones come with restrictions today. Put it there. Put restrictions there. So recognize places and circumstances that lead you there and close it. There are even apps that help you to block some websites on your devices. If you know you are falling because of something, get rid of that thing. Let me tell you something. The Bible commands us to flee from sex immorality. To flee. The same Bible tells us to resist Satan. To resist Satan, flee from immorality. Look here. Why doesn't the Bible ask us to resist sexual immorality? If we can resist Satan, but we can't resist sex immorality, there is a reason. Because sex is embedded in us. Sex was created for us. So instead of resisting it or pretending you are resisting, the Bible recommends you to flee. Because at the end of the day, you can resist 1 or 2 days, but the third day you will fall. We all know. The more you flirt with sin, you end up that's sinning. You just end up falling. So instead of trying to resist, I can say no one is strong before sex. We all have to flee. That's the reality of it. We have all to flee. People who overcame in the past, in the Bible, like Joseph, they are people who fled, not the people who stayed and resisted. So my advice to you is flee. By fleeing, I mean, make sure you check your devices. Make sure you get rid of even certain relationships that may be causing that. It may be a friend. It may be, I don't know. It's up to you to check what is causing me. You sit down and analyze what is causing me to keep falling. What is the movie that I'm watching? What is the TV shows that I'm watching? What are these things? What are these things that I'm using that are causing me to fall again? And the fourth step is trust in Jesus' power. Let me be honest with you. We need to acknowledge that we cannot do it on our own. You need to acknowledge that you cannot do it on your own. It always takes a superpower, a supernatural power to help us overcome certain things. So as much as I've told you to do all these 3 things that you can do, but always depend on the power of God. Always depend on the supernatural power of God to help you. Even when you fall, remember that God is not against you. God is not saying, now you have fallen again, I will destroy you. No, some people have that concept of an angry God. God is not angry at you because of that. God wants you to stand again. God wants you to try again. God wants you to try and depend on Him. Keep depending on Him as you keep trying. One day, I'm telling you, you will overcome. So just remember these 4 steps to overcome pornography or to overcome sexual addiction. The first one, stop wishing, become willing. Stop wishing, become willing. So ask yourself, am I willing or am I just wishing that I should stop watching pornography? The second one, choose accountability. I will ask you today, who is the person in your life you can trust to report yourself to? Find an accountability partner. Call them, speak to them. Ask that person, can you be my accountability partner? Can I contact you every time I fall, even in the middle of the night? If I fall, can I send you a message just to keep myself accountable? Don't be ashamed. You know what? People think sex is a shameful topic. It's not. If we don't talk about it, some really bad voices will keep talking about it and they will train our children in really crazy ways. We have to be talking about it. Don't be ashamed to talk about these things. Open up, see someone, talk about it, find accountability. The third one, recognize the time, the places and circumstances that you are more at risk. If it's night when you come from work, then you are just relaxing on Friday evening, find some ways to avoid it because you know exactly where, when, and how you fall. It doesn't always happen by accident. Let's be honest with each other. And the fourth one, trust in Jesus' power. You can't do it on your own. There is always help from heaven. Whenever we call Him, He answers. Now, the question of the day. Is it okay for married couples to watch pornography together? Do you think it's okay for married couple in agreement to watch pornography together? Let us know what you think. Comment below or inbox us and give us your opinion. For more details on the damage of pornography, you can visit a website that we really think it gives more information, which is fightthenewdrug.org. We will add the link in the description below. fightthenewdrug.org. They give you details on the damages of pornography in our society. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. Remember that every time you share any of these episodes on social media, one potential family gets healthier. Also, we want you to follow us on Facebook or Instagram. And as we always say, when family is healthy, the nation is healthy. See you next time.